Good evening, members of council and staff and any members of the public who are watching us. Welcome to the Town Council meeting of October 18th, 2022. Before I will call the meeting to order, before we do the approval of the agenda, I would like to acknowledge that Wolfville is situated in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq. And as such, I ask that we conduct our business with the 7 sacred teachings in mind: truth, honesty, love, courage, respect, wisdom, and humility. And could I have a motion to approve this evening's agenda, please? Councillor Elliott, and seconded by
I'll second.
Councillor Butler. And there are 2 things to add to that. We have an RFD that will set the date for the first advance polling date for the special election of 2022, and a motion related to a letter that council will ask me to write, glyphosate, which Councillor Elliott will pronounce properly. Thank you, Councillor Elliott. Are there any other things to add?
No.
No. All right. All in favor of the agenda as amended, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That's passed. And as we often seem to do lately, we have quite a number of minutes. Motion for the Town Council meeting of September 27th, 2022. Councillor Butler.
I
don't know
move
why I'm
that.
looking at you.
You just right at me too. I'm moved that the minutes of the. Oh, I'm all thrown off now.
Sorry.
I would like to move the minutes of Town Council meeting of September 27th, 2022 as approved and circulated.
I'll second that.
Okay, Councillor Elliott, second that. Just say acting. Are there any errors or omissions in those minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor of approval of the minutes of September 27th, 2022, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Those are passed. And a mover and a seconder for the special joint council meeting, October 3rd, 2022. You go, Councillor Ingham.
I will move that the minutes of the special joint council meeting on October 3rd, 2022 be approved as circulated and or amended.
Deputy Mayor.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Are there any errors or omissions? Hearing none, seeing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Those are passed. And the special joint in-camera council meeting of October 3rd, 2022. Councillor Ingham.
I would move that the minutes of the special joint council in-camera meeting October the 3rd, 2022 be approved as circulated and or amended.
And a seconder, please. Deputy Mayor. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Those are passed. And a mover and a seconder for the special town council meeting of October 4th, 2022.
You're on a roll.
Councillor Ingham,
I
you're on a
I've got
roll.
it. I've
You're on a
actually got
roll.
it printed, so. I would move that the minutes of the special town council meeting of October the 4th, 2022 be approved as circulated and or amended.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any comments, errors, or omissions on those minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Those are passed. And a few comments for this evening. First of all, just to, as council probably knows, I did a presentation. It was also attended by the CAO to the Board of Governors of Acadia last Friday. It was my first in person. I think the last one was on Zoom, so that was kind of nice. I want to thank staff, our staff, and community volunteers who, and of course Acadia, but my thanks right now go out to our staff who worked so hard over the weekend to maintain some level of decorum in the town. And by all accounts, their pre-work and their work on that weekend helped us have a successful homecoming at Acadia. So thank you to Caden and Sean, our compliance people, our CAO, who I know was in contact all Saturday, and I'm not sure if there were other staff, but I expect that there were, and thank you so much. And thank you. I understand there's also a group of the good neighbors who were out the next day cleaning up, and they did a great job. So thank you to them. Two shout outs that I'd like to make. One, you will have noticed, and I am very appreciative, I'm sure that council is too, to see the signage in front of the Legion. It's really nice to see signage and see that building. It's going up. There's been a lot of changes in the last couple of weeks. Nice to see the signage, and you will all know that they have a fundraising campaign, and hopefully the community knows now. I saw an article in the paper today, so good luck to them. And also, this is something that I think has been was requested, and I believe Barb Shaw has posted on our website. Holly Carr, who I'm sure we all know as a well-known national artist in our midst, is there will be three presentations actually. The week of November 4th and 5th at the Festival Theatre on Holly and her team's initiative, Light in the Forest, which is a performance art event to really shed a light on mental wellness. And she's been working with Acadia students and Acadia faculty. They've developed an app to support this. It's a great program. Just before COVID hit, we were going to have a regional joint Rotary meeting with all the Rotary clubs in the region at Acadia to kind of launch this. And of course, by the time that breakfast was to happen, we were all sitting in our homes waiting for the 2 weeks to pass that we thought it would be over. But anyways, it has been posted. I think it's a great event. I'm looking forward. I have a chance to introduce the session on the 4th and on the 5th, and tickets. So Holly has said any members of council would like tickets, please be in touch with her. So if you need information, it's on the town's website. So those are my comments, and I don't know if any members of council have comments that they wish to add, points they wish to make. Thank you. So it is a busy time. And that brings us to public input and question period. And do we have anybody coming on? We do not. All right, we have quite a number of motions from the Committee of the Whole meeting of October 4th. So as we often say during council meeting, these items have been discussed at length at Committee of the Whole. It does not mean, of course, that council can't have further discussion on it, but if members of the public are watching and wonder why things at council often pass quickly, it is because discussion has typically happened at the previous Committee of the Whole meeting. So would somebody, and unless I see from staff that they want to make further presentations, I'm going to assume not on old business, but if you do, please jump up. So the procurement policy, I wonder if I have somebody who would like to move that motion. Councillor Elliott.
I would move that council approve the attached draft procurement policy with an effective implementation date of November 1, 2022.
And is there a seconder? Deputy Mayor Madeira Voss. Are there any comments from council? All in favor of the motion as read, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. And a motion for signing authority policy. Councillor Butler.
I move that council approve amendments to section 5.5 and 5.6 of signing authority policy 120-011 as per attached draft policy.
And a seconder, please. Thank you, Councillor Ingham. Any comments from council? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion as read, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That is passed. A motion on the Welcome Center. Deputy Mayor.
I move the council authorize staff to detail and tender before year end a new Welcome Center based on an amended scope that ensures the project remains within the approved budget of $600,000.
And Councillor Elliott seconds that. Are there any comments from council? Your light is on, Councillor
Oh,
Elliott.
sorry.
I thought you might have wanted to make a comment. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That is passed. And the municipal boundary review. Motion. Counselor Ingham.
I would move that council confirm based on public input, status quo, mayor and 6 councillors at large would be in the best interests of the town.
And a seconder, please. Counselor Butler, any comments from council? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That's passed. And the community alcohol strategy, and I'm only going to ask Barb Shaw because I have seen some correspondence. Did you want to make any additional comments? You don't have to, but I don't want to put you on the spot, but I did see some correspondence going back and forth.
No, thank you, Mayor Donovan, through you to council and to staff. There were some questions about next steps and how the community alcohol strategy that was brought forward at Committee of the Whole would be adopted by both Acadia and the ASU. So those presentations are still to follow. Council was really the first step. You had the first look at it, were able to give your comments and feedback, and then it will go forward to all of the partners who were outlined in the draft strategy.
Thank you so much. A mover for that motion, Deputy Mayor, please.
I move the council endorse the community alcohol strategy and support its presentation to the partners outlined in the strategy through a consultation process that will build support and plans for implementation.
Thank you. And a seconder, please. Okay, Councillor Ingham, any comments from council? All right, seeing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That's passed. And land use bylaw text amendments, daycares and architectural drawings. Deputy Mayor?
I move the council give first reading to the amendments to the land use bylaw to enable daycares in the I1, I2, and C2 zones as of right, and in the R3 and R4 by site plan approval, and to amend the requirements for architectural plans for the site plan approval applications as outlined in the resolution attachment 1.
Okay, and Councillor Elliott, any comments from council? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That's passed. And Deputy Mayor, would you also?
Okay. I move the council give first reading of the amendment to the land use bylaw zoning map to change the zoning of 120 Highland Avenue, PID 55271563 from R3 medium density residential to I1 institutional general as outlined in the resolution attachment 1.
Any comments? I'm sorry, we have a seconder. Thank you, Councillor Butler. I got lost there in a few things. Any comments from council? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That is passed. That brings us to new business. And we have, and to this new business, at least on my sheet, perhaps your list is different. We will add the glyphosate letter and the RFD for date of first advance polling day as C and D. Okay. And so the first item of new business are expressions of interest for Deputy Mayor. Just to remind people what will happen, we will ask for expressions of interest from members of council to put their name forward for the next year's term of Deputy Mayor. If there's only one name put forward, that will start at the next council meeting. So the November council meeting, which is the third Tuesday in November. If there's more than one individual wishing to put their name forward, then they will all have a chance to kind of state why they would like to be deputy mayor also at the council meeting in November. And there will be a vote, and it will take place immediately on the third Tuesday in November, which sounds like a movie. The American Supreme Court. It's the first Monday in November. All right, I always start on my right, so I'm going to start on my left and go around. Just, I don't know if people feel slighted when I always start on my right, but I'm going to start. Councillor McKay, would you like to put your name forward for deputy mayor? Okay. Councillor Ingham,
Not at this time either. Thank you.
deputy mayor.
I'm willing to reoffer.
Okay.
I like-
Thank you, Councillor Butler
Not at this time, no.
and Councillor Elliott.
Not at this time.
Well, then we have an acclamation, and Deputy Mayor Madeira Voss will continue as deputy mayor beginning in November and continue until November. Congratulations.
We should probably just get a motion
Oh,
to that effect.
okay.
Yeah.
So would not you, I don't think why you can, would somebody, Wendy, thank you.
I would move that Deputy Mayor Isabel Madeira Voss remain Deputy Mayor for the following calendar year.
Thank you. And a seconder, please. Councillor Butler, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Again, congratulations. All right. So Councillor McKay, I'm going to ask you to read the next one because it's a long one and because as the former,
We have a staff report.
oh, sorry, we have a staff report. I will still ask Deputy Mayor, I'm sorry, Councillor McKay to read it as our former chair of KTA and also the alternate on the IMSA. So she can prepare. And Councillor McLean, Director McLean. Man, this has been too long a day.
No desire to be Councillor McLean.
Oh, it's so much fun, as you can tell.
I would be disappointed with my vote total. So. This is new business for the committee and hence the reason for the staff report at this stage direct to council. King's Transit Authority is looking to leverage a significant federal grant through the infrastructure grant program to electrify their fleet, which involves approximately $9.2 million in terms of buses over a number of years and some building upgrades that they'll have to do in order to be able to facilitate using the buses. What they need at this point in time as part of the grant program is a guarantee from each of the participating municipal units towards what will ultimately be some level of funding, likely through debentures. But during the lifespan of the project, which I think will be 3 to 4 years, a guarantee to demonstrate to the government that the municipal units are supporting KTA in this endeavor. So this is similar to the debt guarantees that we do for Valley Waste. Valley Wastes are a little bit more imminent because it's part of their current year capital program. I would suggest that there's 2 motions here indicating the TBR guarantee and a commitment to the project ultimately. This doesn't really put us at much financial risk in the immediate future because ultimately this will be provided as additional paperwork to finalize the grant program. And then there'll be a feasibility study over the coming year through King's Transit, through this program that will better define exactly, I think, what King's Transit needs. Is that a fair way to put it, I think? So guarantee the TBR. TBRs have a shelf life of 12 months before they have to be renewed. So each council guarantees this. There'll be a feasibility study. There'll probably be another need in a year's time to renew the temporary boring with further details of how that's going to work. So right now, the allocation of the commitment is based on the core funding that we have through the King's Transit IMSA. Ultimately, the cost sharing could be a little bit different than that. The county's done a lot of work on ridership numbers, how that may inform it, and whether or not Annapolis County comes in, Digby comes in. I think those things will play out over the next year. So for now, you have the 2 motions in front of you. And if there's any questions, I'll try to clarify on that.
Okay, why don't we ask if there are any questions first? Okay. Right. Councillor McKay.
I would move that council guarantees a share of the King's Transit Authority's TBR temporary borrowing resolution fleet electrification in the amount of $11,950,000, with Wolfville's share being 15%, or $1,792,500, as per attached partner guarantee resolution form.
Do these as two separate motions?
They've asked for it to be in
Okay,
two separate, so I
okay.
think it gives clarity to
All
the
right,
funders.
so thank you, Councillor McKay, a mover. Councillor Butler, please, a seconder. Are there any comments or discussions from council? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. That is passed. There were no other people to oppose it. Councillor McKay.
I would move that council commit to its proportionate share of the net project funding of $2,273,787. Wolfville's share of $390,481, required with estimated total financing costs, the principal and interest payments over life of debenture totaling $3,555,950, with Wolfville's share being $669,000.
Thank you. And a seconder, please. Thank you, Councillor Ingham. Any comments from council? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That is passed. And we'll add the, let's do the date of the first advanced polling day special election, and there is a motion. And Laura, did you, well, I don't know, did you want to speak briefly to this?
So in the process of looking at the Elections Act, which is always fun, we discovered that we actually need a motion from council to decide on one of our advanced polling dates. So there are 2 days, 2 advanced polling days. The second one is fixed by legislation as the Tuesday immediately before the ordinary polling day. The first can be either the Thursday, 9 days before ordinary polling day, or the Saturday, 7 days before. We are suggesting the Thursday just because it's a different day, because ordinary polling is on a Saturday anyway. So.
Any questions of staff? Somebody like to read that motion, please? Deputy Mayor.
I would move the council approve Thursday, December 1st, 2022 to be the date of first advanced polling day in the special election.
Thank you. And a seconder, please. Councillor Elliott. Again, any questions? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That is passed. That brings us to the last item of new business, and the issue is the glyphosate. Why can I not say that word properly? As you recall, I believe, but I could be wrong, but I believe this was brought to our attention by a number of municipalities, and there was some discussion amongst council that we would like to support this. Councillor Elliott did some research on the issue, and I think Councillor McKay did too, followed up because there was some concern, or not concern, questions as to how it might affect our the farmers, and whether this was something that they would not support, but it turns that they also do support a moratorium on this product and the way it's delivered to our forests. And I drafted a letter. I did share it with council as a draft, and I believe I did hear back from all of council. And so we have a draft letter and we need a motion. And Councillor Elliott, if you would read the motion.
Yes, thanks. I would like to move that Wolfville Council, under the name of the mayor, send a letter to the Premier Tim Houston and to the Environment and Climate Change Minister Tim Holman, indicating that we do not support aerial spraying of the chemical glyphosate.
There's actually a motion in the
Is there?
letter. Yes, it's. So if you read the motion that's in the letter.
Oh, hey. Well, I would move that council write a letter, as I said, to the Premier and the Minister of Environment and Climate Change, requesting a moratorium be placed on aerial spraying of the glyphosate-based herbicide on forested lands until a formal report requisitioned by the provincial government on the net benefits or net losses of such activity to the residents of Nova Scotia can be obtained.
A seconder, please. Thank you, Councillor Butler. Is there any question, comment? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That's passed. I will make sure there are no spelling mistakes in this, and I will send that letter tomorrow. And that brings us to the end of our meeting. Regular meeting adjourned. Motion, Councillor Butler. Seconded. Councillor Ingham, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, council.